Do you think that TikTok itself has changed the game for Gen Z activism in the way that that platform is structured?
Could not agree more with that, Deja. And I love your point as well, Olivia. Going through TikTok and trying to reach out to a lot of young individuals, because I think it should be understood, TikTok does not have to only be for Gen Z, and it's not only accessible to Gen Z, of course not. But what makes TikTok so fascinating is, I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with the FCC. Pretty sure most of us have been, right? So the thing with the FCC is, back in 1987, there was a codified rule that is very similar to the equal time rule, if y'all are familiar with that. And essentially what it did was it took a polarizing subject matter on any news channel or any radio, and it had two perspectives that were differing on that subject matter, and proposed or had those individuals debate it out, discuss it however you will, on the informational side and why they agree with that. The downside is, ever since that was lost in 1987, we instead see a lot more individuals through sort of corporate media, mainstream media, that takes probably the most viral, sensational individual and then just sort of use that because that is tailored towards their viewership, rather than providing two views on a subject matter. And what is absolutely beautiful, and I think it's an interesting interplay between mainstream and TikTok and what have you, is that TikTok allows individual creators to be able to put forward their own views and discuss topics that they see relevant to themselves and their own collectives and their own demographic groups, and then be able to push that forward. So then all of a sudden, you start seeing the views that aren't represented. After all, 64%, if you think about it, 64% of America are in the centrist area, with 46% identifying staunchly with a political party, Democrat, Republican, or further on down the spectrum as right or left. If 64% of America are on this bell curve within the United States, how do we get more of their views shared? How do we get our views shared with those individuals? And I think when it comes to content moderation, that's something that has to be looked into, because I don't want to lose those precious golden nuggets of Beyonce's 10-second reel going around just discussing the lieutenant governor's roles, that I have to go through and go county to county saying, this is what the governor does, this is what politics entails, and why it's so important to get involved if you want your views to be represented. So I think that definitely needs more discussion and look into in Congress, and I think hopefully Gen Z will make that change.
And they're doing that right now. You know, Congress is really taking a hard look at TikTok and their moderation policies and all of the potential biases that could exist there. So.
Right, it's been banned on a lot of campuses. Won't go into the details, but has gone into effect to where it's banned on a lot of campuses throughout the state and in a lot of locales. So.